Good morning everyone. Well, sorry, good afternoon. It's Sunday the 5th of October. Now we've got another earthquake coming and it's going to be a big one, a lot bigger than this last one. And you know about the fault line. And the fault line, actually guys, if you're a stonemason, you're splitting rocks, you're cracking rocks. When you actually hit a rock, right, you'll get an aftershock. And you know, with the plates of the earth moving against plates, and that's what can actually start to electroplates, can't think of, and these plates that are moving, these are what cause the earthquake, you know. So there's a fault line. Even if you're cracking a stone or a brick, if you tap it with an hammer or chisel, it will go down the weakest line. Well, it's the same with an earthquake, a fault line. So if you actually are tapping a rock, an island, a country, right, the earthquake with the plates will actually go down the weakest line. So whatever country you're in or whatever island, and if you're on that fault line, so if the fault line comes down, it comes down here, you know, if you're on that fault line, you will get hit by the earthquake the hardest. Now we're expecting an earthquake here again, and it's going to go down the fault line, and it's very near to us, the fault line. You know, it's in Cebu. We're going to get that aftershock, and it's going to be a lot worse. So it's not going to be any much fun. But this is supposed to be in the Philippines this month, and so the earthquake is going to hit, according to form, it's going to hit very, very badly. And there's the big one, don't know when that's going to hit, but you know, they reckon Manila, when it does it, it's a ticking time bomb, it's gone. So, God bless. So, I'll try and explain it. I've got a short on it. I haven't watched the short yet because I've just done the video. So, I'll try and explain it in this rock. The fault line, you know, I know the fault line when you're cracking a rock, but I didn't know that was the same term when you're actually, when there's an earthquake. It's actually the same, you know. It's gonna, the earthquake's gonna travel down the weakest route, the fault line. I hope I've managed to explain that in a simple way. Right guys, so the fault line is when you're actually hitting this rock. This could be your country, an island. So that the vibration will go through the weakest part of the rock, and that's the fault line. So when you have an earthquake with the plates rubbing together, that's what causes an earthquake. So these plates causes an earthquake, and the shock will actually go down the weakest part. That's the fault line. So if that's the line, I don't know if you can see it. Quite a bit of scribble all over the place. So if you can see that, that's the fault line. So when you're hitting that, that's what it does, goes down the fault line. And if Cebu's there, and Manila's there, and Concilian's there, Murcia's there, wherever you are, if you're on that fault line, that's what you're going to actually, you know, suffer. Right, so I hope I've explained that. So we've got another one, Sunday 5th of October, and we've got another earthquake coming. It's going to be a big one, and I was chatting to a friend from England about this, and he sent me a message, and he sent me explaining some really good information which I didn't know. But the fault line, I've never heard of this fault line before, but you know, I understand it now because it's same in a rock, a brick. So if you've got an hammer and you're hitting a rock, and you want a straight line, you're cutting a nice straight line on a rock, and you're hitting it with an hammer, you keep hitting it, it will split, the rock will split on the weakest part of the rock, right? That's your country, your island, so it will split on the weakest part, the fault line, and it's just the weakest part of your country, and that's with the plates rubbing, or if you know, if a part of an island actually does collapse, it can cause a tsunami. So, you know, with these plates rubbing together, that's what causes an earthquake. And, you know, simplest and easiest way I can explain it. And when Jovelin said it goes down fault line, I thought, fault line? What's a fault line? Never heard of this fault line. But it's the same when you're chipping away at a stone or brick. Now, what you'd do is you'd draw a line on a stone or a brick, and you'd go down that line and you'd manipulate that, and or you drill holes. You drill holes in it, you put your pegs in it, and you tap them 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get it to split. But sometimes you might have got a straight line, and then what happens, it veers off and it's no good. The stone's no good for what you've cut. It's gone down the fault line. So this fault line, you know, I hope you people can actually understand that. And like I said, so we've got another earthquake coming, and it's going to hit this month, and it's a big one. So the Philippines, as far as I know, my foot's killing me. As far as I know, the Philippines is going to be in big trouble. So God bless everyone. Don't know what it's going to be like here. Last time it shook the damn house. Weren't much fun. We've got big trees here. So if we know this earthquake's going to hit, and we do get a chance to get out of the house, we will do. And we'll go and stand or get knocked on the floor and lay on in the field. And hopefully you guys remember the trees. Don't think to run under the trees. This is my thinking. Don't run under the trees, because the trees are big and power, they're heavy, and if they do come down, you'll be killed. So keep away from high-rise buildings, etc. Common sense. We don't know when this, we just don't know. Probably late at night like the last one. So we don't know when this earthquake's going to hit the Philippines. But according to, we know they monitor these earthquakes all the times. Volcanoes monitor it all the time, but you know, they just don't know when it's going to go bang. But they've predicted now, but this month, October, sometime in October. So, you know, I hope everyone's fine and taking care. Hopefully we can get to Mercy. I think we've got a bit of change left. We have to go and buy some food. We have to buy something, put it that way. So we have to go into Mercy. So, to all my friends and followers, take care, God bless. And like I said, thanks for the great information, Lee. Right, so, you know, one of my subscribers, and thanks to Gloria and Lee and everyone that's helped support. So if you actually, you know, everyone that sends me a message, you know, everyone that sends a good message, thanks for the messages, guys. Right, it's very, very hot here. So I'm just going to potter around the garden a little bit. It's too hot. Can't go out in sun, in a second you're burned. And we had an alert today, well, about half an hour ago, another alert. All the time with Canlan volcano. By the sounds on it, she's going to be throwing ash out. And, you know, if one of these volcanoes does go boom, as a friend of mine said, it will go up, throw ash up into the sky, it will block the sun out, and it will actually affect all the world. Right, guys, have a lovely day, take care, God bless. Hopefully we can get to Mercy. So, you know, these big plates, so you've got a little bit of a better idea how an earthquake actually starts. Okay, guys, Take care, God bless. And you know the outcome. And the other one is... And the other one is there. So that's the other one. Creature of the night. And that's the other one. Creature of the night. Plant eater. So that's one of the other snails. And the other one is there. So that's the other one. What's wrong with you? I don't know why the dog's shaking, look. She's worried, she's shaking. I can't hear anything. I've been bit by a damant. Right. Looks like we've got a new chick here, look. Looks like this one wants a bit of water. You know, you're supposed to put water down for your chicks, as well as a bit of feed. Look, she's there. Don't know what's wrong with her, look. She's shaking. She's moving around. And can you see she doesn't bother chicks? See these chicks? My dogs do not bother chicks. And they're in our garden. So our dogs do not bother chicks. See, that little black chick there. She don't bother it. Don't bother that chick. Look, she's just there. She doesn't bother chicks or chickens. And she doesn't like eggs. Look, she's very nervous. She's shaking. Look. What's wrong with you? So she's nervous. Very nervous. Last night she were here. She's the guard dog. Wait a moment. Last night, for hours and hours, she were barking. They were both, like I said, look, they don't bother chicks, they don't bother chickens, they don't kill chickens, they don't kill chicks. She can see she is very, very nervous. Look at her. She's shaking. I don't know, something's not right. She can sense things, that dog. She's very intelligent. Last night they were barking and I ended up telling them to shut it for quite a few times. And I knew there was something wrong. And I came out with my torch, and my torch is no good. It doesn't work, so I ain't got a torch. I've got one, it doesn't work. It loses power in a second. Right. So they were here, barking. I walked out there onto the road, and dogs were looking out there towards where they keep chickens and where they actually keep the hens. I bought some new hens. They got a lot of nice hens, actually, really nice hens. And what were happening? They were barking for hours and hours and hours. And there were a dog. There were a dog in there, and it killed all the chickens where the piggery is. So that's what happened. See, she don't like lorries either. So look, I don't know what's... Afternoon! That's it. She were barking, and Lexi will not stop barking when there's something wrong. So over there in the piggery, there were a dog killing all chickens, and I said to Jovelyn, there's got to be thieves over in that piggery. And I actually thought it'd be thieves after pinching pigs or pinching chickens, because we've got a few thieves now here in this province, and they live in this province. And I actually thought, oh, it's thieves. And I came out to check. And, you know, we're only here. We're only at the back of this door here. So we're only here. But like I said, we've got an earthquake coming in October. And I came out, like I said. And then we went back in the house and she were at it all night. On and off, on and off. Right. And as well, another ant. Damn red ants. Really painful in the last 4 weeks, and you get a big boil, and it's terrible because they inject acid. And what they were doing, right, I'll reverse the camera, they were looking out towards piggery, and at the back of me there, over there on the other barangay, all the dogs were barking, all the dogs here were barking, and I knew there were a thief around. That's what I thought, what's a thief around? And, you know, I'll just mention what kills chickens is rats, snakes, cats, dogs, and other people are taking the chickens out of this barangay. And all dogs were barking on and off, but my dog never stopped. And she was barking while early this morning. I thought, God, I couldn't even sleep. I didn't sleep last night. So I got up early this morning and I fastened the curtains back, turned the small fan on, and I came to this window here. And I came to this window here to open this window. So to open this window, that's what I did. And I actually looked out there. I looked out there towards the piggery. And there were about 20 people. And it were all these guys what live in the province here. All these guys that live in the province here were there. And I thought, oh, something's gone off. You could tell something had gone off. Jovelyn was still asleep. So I actually, oh, that's not another damn ant. So I actually thought, oh, something's gone off. I came out to do some work on the plants. And they were all there, about 20, 25 of them. Everyone were out. And they were all looking over to the next barangay. And I thought, what's happened? Something must have happened. And I thought they were looking at something, you know, a dead dog, a dead duck, or a dead chicken. And they were all out, and I thought, so I didn't know what had happened. Anyway, I'm snipping away doing my plants. And one of the ladies here, she said to me, a dog last night. It killed all the chickens. I understood what she said, even though she was speaking, you know, in Filipino. And she said it killed all the chicken. The dog was crazy. I said, maybe it's got rabies. And that's what it's done, it's killed all chickens. Now look, if you're keeping chickens here, dogs have been killing chickens ever since I came. And I don't understand you people. Why do you not do what we've done here? You know, to keep our dogs safe, this is what we did straight away. From Pup, we bought this mesh, and we put this mesh all the way around. So it's got mesh all the way around, and that was to keep our dogs safe, and to stop the dogs going out. But basically, just to keep the dogs safe, this is my spot. She wants me to move, I'm sat on her rock. So she have to wait. So, you know, if you're keeping chickens, build a pen so the rats and the snakes and the dogs and the cats can't kill your chickens. Now, if you would have got off your fat asses, because I came out, because I knew there was something wrong. I came out to check to see what were wrong, because I knew there was something wrong. Now, you guys, you have to start coming out and checking your livestock, check your pigs, check your chickens, and you seem to just be happy to let your chickens get killed year after year after year. And I don't really understand all that money what you're losing. Don't understand how you think. Because me, even though I've got plants, where I keep my plants, it's safer than where you keep your animals. So what you have to do, guys, is you have to build a fence, build a bamboo fence, build a pen, build a chicken coop to stop your chickens getting killed by rats, snakes, dogs, cats, and chickens. Chickens. I've even seen chickens killing little chickens, and as well as chickens killing small chicks, I've always seen cats and dogs. Seen lots of dogs killing fully grown chickens, taking them into the field, killing them and eating them. And she's really nervous. She's getting really, really nervous, that dog. So, you know, I have to keep an eye on her, because she'll tell me if something's not right. And like I said, you don't know what goes off here, do you? You just don't know what's going off in province. But, you know, as long as it's done to affect people in a dangerous way, it's okay. But you have to just, it's up to you guys to keep your chickens safe. If your chickens are laying eggs, and you need to keep them safe from predators, as well as people coming and pinching them at night. So you know, if you would have actually kept your chickens safe, you would have had them all this morning, and you know, if you would have actually come out last night, you'd have known there were a crazy dog killing all your chickens. Gosh, every one of the dogs in this barangay and across at the other barangay, woof woof, all night. And I thought it's somebody hiding in the rice in the sugarcane field. I'm sweltering me. It's somebody hiding in the sugarcane field, and they're waiting till no one's around, till dogs are quiet. Then they're going to sneak back, pinch the chickens, pinch the pigs, whatever they can get their hands on. But no, it wasn't. It were a crazy dog that killed all the chickens. So it's not very good, guys. You know, you're losing your money. Don't get me wrong, you know, I'm sure some of you will be mad and you'll be upset, because they were quite nice chickens and they just started to lay eggs. So from, you know, protect your chickens, protect your livestock, your chickens and your ducks. I don't understand you. You just think you can leave your chickens or your chicks out there to be killed, and just don't understand how you think. Because like I said, I've got plants here, and even my plants are probably safer than your chicken houses, and that's just for a plant. So that's how much time I actually spend with my whatever I've got. If I had chickens, before I buy a chicken, I build a shed, I build a coop, I'd build it with bamboo, and then I'd put steel mesh on outside. You know, I have to do that to keep your stuff safe, otherwise you're going to have no chickens. But like I said, it's really bad news, guys. It's not very nice losing all your chickens, and especially when they're starting to lay eggs. Now, my dogs run around here free, and they go down to that piggery and they wander around, and they're always around, but they don't eat, they don't kill chicks, they don't kill chickens. And if chickens come in here, sometimes I might chase them off, but otherwise they just don't bother. So I don't know if they found the dog that's killed all these chickens, because we don't really, I don't chat to anyone here really, don't chat to anyone. I might say hello, but you know, I don't really chat to anyone. But I actually do say hi, hello, and if they don't chat back, that's just how it goes. So we don't know what really goes off. I'm sure Jovelyn will get to find out what's gone off. So that's what's happened here in the province. Plus, like I said, we've got an earthquake coming. Can't see that being much fun, but it'll probably just sooner or later this month. And I'm sure I'll do a blog about it, but you just never know, do you? So that's what's been happening here in the province. So, you know, please like, please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, please help support in the way of the dollar. But please give me a thumbs up, and thank you very much for all the great comments, and thanks for the, you know, thanks very much for the support, guys. Right, I'm just going to have a little walk round the garden, and then I'm going to go in and get a shower. So that's what's been happening here. Lots of chickens being killed by a crazy dog. So the lady told me this morning. Guys, with this, it's getting windy now. Don't know why dogs are barking. Maybe they can sense something. See all these gaps? These gaps weren't here. All these gaps weren't here. And I walked down here this morning about 5:30 to start on garden, and I stood on that rock and I stood on that rock, and that gave way and that gave way, and I did this bit of gardening yesterday. So I put two new plants in. So, well, I put that one in and I took quite a few out, and you know, same with that rock. I dug all this out and I put 2 big tubs of soil in, and it were all that stuff. So I put proper soil in there so you can grow plants in there. And same with that, this rock had moved. So why have they moved? I think when we had that earthquake, it actually moved the rock. I had to off him for a shower. That's a bucket of water. So I actually think, you know, there's no light in here whatsoever. So when we've had that earthquake, it's moved all the rocks. And a friend of mine from England, he said, "Is there any cracks in house?" Well, I've looked round the house and I can't see out what's major. Having said that, I can actually see a few cracks. I don't know if it's a fresh crack, so I have to have a look, but I can see a few cracks. But you know, that earthquake moved a lot of these rocks. It might have moved them that much, because I always butt them very, very tight together. Then I get another rock and I make sure they're bedded in. So, anyway, it is what it is. Take care, God bless. I'm off for a shower.